Hi everyone, it's Jessica here. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me today. Today I want to talk to you about the Starry Magic quilt along that's coming up and starting on Friday, and also a new quilt pattern that I've just released. So let's get started. Now the first one you know about already. This is the Starry Magic quilt along. This is what the quilt looks like. This quilt pattern comes in two sizes. The smaller one measures 72.5 inches square. That's a large throw, and the blocks are 9 inches. And the larger one measures 93.5 inches square, and the blocks in that one are 12 inches. This is going to be a fun quilt to make. I really love star blocks, and I mean, this quilt is just chock full of them. So you'll get lots of practice making different types of units that can go into a star block, but can also go into other quilt blocks. So it's great practice. Sampler quilts, I always find, are really great at skill building because you try so many different things. So like I said, this quilt along starts on Friday, October 25th. Quilt along lasts for 7 weeks, and each week we'll be working on a different block or a different couple of blocks, depending on how many we're making of each. Some week we're making just one kind, some week we're making two kinds. And every Friday during this quilt along, I'll share a video that shows you how I make the block needed for that week. Now, like I said, this quilt along runs for 7 weeks, and we conclude the week of December 6th, and that will be when we're assembling everything. So I'm only going to show you a few blocks from the quilt along, but this is the one that we're making starting on Friday. This is the pinwheel block. And you've seen these other two before. This is the diamond in a square star block. And then also this is the star in a star block. I love these ones. We'll be making these in black and orange. Now, I wrote this pattern for fat quarters, but I've been hearing from a lot of you who are participating that are going to use scraps, and I think that that's just a fantastic idea. You definitely can use scraps. They would really shine here with all these different blocks putting together. It would be amazing. So scraps are a great way to go. And I always do get requests for scrap quilts. So when I'm designing, I have that in mind, but I always have to give the option of how to make it if you don't have scraps, because for newer quilters or people who usually just like to buy fabric for the project they're working on, they might not have a ton of scraps and they want regular fabric requirements too. So I did write this for fat quarters, but it would be perfect for scraps. Now the next quilt that I haven't shown you yet is called Wonderland. This is a log cabin quilt. This is the largest size. It comes in 3 sizes: baby, which is just 4 of these squares put together, throw, which is 9 of them, and then queen, which is all 16. I have this separated into colors here for this one, but this would be another fantastic scrap quilt pattern if you just made all of the log cabins with any which scraps that you have. The pieces are really small, so they would look beautiful here, all the different ones together. This pattern I just put in my shop today, so I'll link to that below also. It uses 1.5 inch strips, so it's really great for, like I said, leftover fabric, scraps. If you have any honey buns left over, which are, it's like a jelly roll, but they're 1.5 inches wide instead of 2.5 inches, that would work beautifully here. The pattern is written for fat quarters, but you could use so many other things. So I'm going to be working on Wonderland starting now, and I'll be sharing the progress as I go. This quilt, I'll do a video on how to make one of the log cabins and then one of these larger blocks, but since the blocks are repeated, it's a 1-block quilt. I won't be doing more than one video on that, but I'll definitely keep you in the loop on my progress as I go, as I'm making it. I really enjoy log cabin quilts, and this really satisfies the need to want to make one of those. And I do have one of the Wonderland blocks here to show you. So this is one of the blocks in maroon, and like I already said, I did this quilt in each block as all one color, but can you imagine how beautiful this would be in scraps of all different colors? I'm probably gonna have to make more than one. So I hope you'll join me in the Starry Magic quilt along that starts on Friday, and also in making this Wonderland quilt. If you have any questions on anything I talked about today, just let me know, and if not, I'll see you back here soon. Thanks for following along.